I've really gone into the sort of practical sort of nuts and bolts about how to do the therapy with neglect, what to look for, and actually work, how we work, because these are some really challenging clients. You know, these are people, if they come in at all, which they generally don't unless somebody drags them in because they think nothing happened to them, nothing's wrong, they have nothing to complain about, and it's all, you keep hearing the word nothing, 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 which is the problem. And so, what is the therapist supposed to do? Well, that is a question. And the first really essential thing that we have to do with these clients is help them name what the problem is. And the problem is nothing. The problem is all the missing experiences, all the nothing that happened instead of the some things that were so important that didn't happen, and being unseen and
Right.
unheard and not noticed and sort of slipping under the radar. And if we recognize and name and make sense out of why they feel bad, that is right there worth the price of admission. So, what I really want to
Right.
help
Just
people learn
naming
to
it is
do
so
is
important.
learn what to look, yeah, and to
And
see and hear and validate, because no one ever has. And so they feel unworthy of how bad they feel. They feel unworthy anyway, because the experience of neglect is I didn't get anything because I wasn't worth anything. I didn't deserve anything.
right.
And so there's already a sense of unworthiness and worthlessness. So if we begin to make sense out of why they feel that, and that it's not accurate that they didn't get because they weren't worthy, but something else was going on, and most likely they had traumatized parents who were unhealed, unconscious, and just sort of intergenerational transmission of that. So learning to recognize, name, and say, this is the problem. And it makes sense that you feel bad, and it is possible to feel better. If we can do that, sometimes that is all we are able to do, because sometimes
Hmm.
that's all they
Yeah.
tolerate for us
I
to do.
think, Ruth, this is so important because I think even my most dissociative clients, at the underlying pieces of it, don't get healed because of the attachment. I remember I had one client say, well, I wish I had fallen and broken my arm so I could have a cast, so I could point to something. Because, like, you're right. How do you say inside? Like, I feel lost. I feel lonely. I feel empty. I feel like I'm going to be rejected any minute. I was just on a call where somebody was saying, the sweetest person was saying, I always knew I would be wrong. Always. It's like, where does that come from? How does that get imprinted? And it's so
Mm,
hard because our early language isn't there. We don't have the narrative for those early imprints to then be able to have an autobiographical discussion about it.